The next step in the image segmentation process is to apply transformations, like opening and closing. I'm not going to go into that right now because this step is optional and it allows your results to be a little bit better. But this step may require more detail than we're able to get into today, so for now we're going to go on and do step 4 first. In step 4, I've already listed that we have to apply these 3 rules. However, those 3 rules are applied to all of the cells in the matrix other than the first row and the first column, which we do separately. So before we apply those 3 rules, we're going to label the first row and we're going to label the first column. The first thing we need to do in labeling the first row is to keep track of a tally of which object number we're currently labeling. So I'm going to create a variable called tally and set it equal to 1 because the first object we label will be object number 1. Then I'm also going to create a matrix to hold the output of our object labeling, and we call that matrix the object matrix. Right away, I can label the upper left-hand corner pixel of the object matrix as object number 1. Now we can begin to label all of the other pixels in the first row. What we want to do is we want to cycle through each pixel in row 1, and we want to be able to check what the black and white value is of each pixel relative to the pixel that is to its left. So I'm going to create 2 variables, I to represent which row number we're on, and here we start out on row number 1, and j to represent the number of the column number that we're currently looking at. And we'll start out looking at column number 2 because we've already labeled element 1, 1 of the object matrix. Now, to cycle through each of the cells in the object matrix along the first row, I need to have a while loop. And that while loop will go as long as our columns, represented here by j, is less than or equal to the total number of columns that we have. I can figure out how many columns we have by the format in the vid object. This is a 640 by 480 format. That means that there are 480 rows and 640 columns. So if I want this while loop to go through each column, I want j to be less than 640. And I'm also going to type end right away so that I know where my while loop starts and ends. I'm also going to type j equals j plus 1 right away, so I make sure to never have an infinite loop in this while loop. Now inside of this loop, I want to check if the black-white value in row j, or row I rather, column j minus 1, that is the pixel to the left of the one we're looking at, is equal to the value in the black-white matrix in row I column j. Row I column j is the pixel that we're trying to label in this iteration through the loop. If that's true, then the object matrix in row I column j should be equal to the same value in the object matrix in row I column j minus 1, that is the pixel to the left. Otherwise, if the black-white value of the current pixel is not the same as the black-white value of the pixel to the left, then the object matrix in row I column j should be equal to tally plus 1, the next object number. I also have to increment my tally number so that I keep track of the largest number that I've assigned to any object. This ends my if loop. This loop will iterate through every column, labeling each object matrix cell in the whole first row. One more thing I have to do here is go back and indicate what this matrix black-white is. Previously, we had created several black-white matrices, and I don't know right now which of those matrices I'd rather use. So for now, I'm going to set the black-white matrix to be equal to black, white, red. Later on, I can go back and easily change this so that I can apply this entire algorithm that we're writing right now to a different black-white matrix. Now, make sure that you've closed all of your figure windows, especially the live video feed window, and hit Run. Make sure that you don't have any errors. Take a look at the command window of Matlab and make sure that there aren't any errors listed there after you click Run. If you do have errors that you can't figure out, call me over now and have me take a look at your code. Otherwise, you can move on to the next video where we label the first column.